Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest yet most invisible financial traps out there. Seriously, it's this quiet thing that can leave even people earning six figures living paycheck to paycheck. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain, see exactly how it works, and more importantly, how you can beat it. All right, so picture your financial life as a simple chart. This top line, that's your income. And over time, hopefully it goes up. Awesome. But then there's this bottom line, your spending. And for most people, it just follows that income line perfectly, like a shadow. Now, you look at this and it seems fine, right? Harmless even. Both lines are going up. But here's the catch. Mathematically, this is a total disaster. Why? Because that little space between the two lines, that's the only place wealth is ever built. If that gap never gets wider, your net worth is basically flatlining. And this whole phenomenon has a name. It's called lifestyle creep. The textbook definition is that it's the gradual increase in spending as your income grows. It's where things that used to be luxuries or wants just sort of quietly become needs. You know, it's upgrading from a perfectly fine car to an SUV because, hey, you feel like you've earned it. Or moving to that slightly nicer apartment in the better neighborhood. Each step makes sense on its own, but together they slowly and silently eat up every bit of financial progress you make. So how in the world does this happen? It's almost never a conscious choice. I mean, nobody wakes up and thinks, you know what I'm going to do today? Sabotage my future. No, it's way more subtle. It's a psychological game. Which brings us to our first section, the psychology behind the creep. It almost always kicks off with a win. You get a raise, a bonus, pay off a loan, and suddenly you feel that breathing room in your bank account. And because you feel a little richer, your baseline for what's normal just shifts. It just inches up. You start going to the slightly nicer gym. You stop looking at the prices when you're ordering drinks. These little upgrades feel so trivial, they're barely noticeable. But here's the trap. That new habit becomes your new normal almost overnight. And once it does, trying to go back feels like a huge sacrifice. You've just permanently increased the cost of being you. And this is where the paradox kicks in. You would think earning more money would, lower your stress. But for so many people, the financial anxiety actually grows right along with their income. Why? Because those new upgrades are now just necessities. That extra money gets completely absorbed into your lifestyle. It's what people call the hedonic treadmill. You run faster and faster just to stay in the exact same place. The feeling of being one paycheck away from trouble feels exactly the same, whether you're earning 40K or 140K. And listen, this is not a niche problem. A recent Bank of America report found that about 24% of US households are living paycheck to paycheck. And get this, it's not just a low-income issue. We see this all the time, deep into the six-figure salary brackets. It creates this strange group of people who are high income, low net worth. They have the cash flow of a rich person, but the actual balance sheet of someone who's just getting by. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, I get it. I'm disciplined though. I can resist. But there's this massive external force working against all of us. An invisible arms race that we are all a part of, whether we want to be or not. We've all heard the phrase, keeping up with the Joneses, right? Well, that concept is now on steroids. It used to be you just compared yourself to your next door neighbor. But today, thanks to social media, you are constantly comparing your normal, everyday life to the curated, picture-perfect highlight reel of literally everyone you've ever met. That creates this intense, primal pressure to upgrade your own life just to feel like you're not falling behind. But here's the critical flaw in that comparison. A review from Chicago Booth pointed this out perfectly. When we look at our own finances, we see the whole messy picture. The good stuff are assets, and the bad stuff are debts. But when we look at other people, what do we see? We only see their assets. We see the new car, the amazing vacation photos, the beautiful kitchen renovation. We don't see the car loan, the credit card bill, or the home equity line of credit that paid for it all. And this quote just nails it. You are literally comparing your backstage, all the wires, the mess, the reality, to their perfectly polished front stage performance.
It's a flawed comparison that leads to this chain reaction of bad financial decisions where everyone is kind of looking at everyone else thinking, well, they can afford it, so I guess I can too. But the truth is, often nobody can. So let's talk about the true cost of all these upgrades. Because, and this is so important, the cost isn't just the money you're spending today. It's the absolutely massive amount of future wealth that you're destroying in the process. I absolutely love this quote because it frames it so well. See, every extra dollar you earn could be like a little soldier sent out to work for you through the magic of compound interest, what Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world. By letting your spending creep up and hug your income, you're not just staying put, you're actively killing off your army of future wealth, potentially giving up millions. Let's make this really concrete. Let's imagine two people. They have the exact same career, the exact same income. Both start at $30,000 a year, and their income rises to over $60,000. Now, in scenario A, the person lets their spending rise right along with their income. So that gap, their annual savings, just stays flat at $2,000 a year. But in scenario B, this person is careful. Their spending rises, but much more slowly. So their savings gap actually grows from $2,000 a year all the way to $20,000 a year. So after 40 years, what's the difference? Well, the person in scenario A, the one who enjoyed all those upgrades along the way, has saved a principal of $80,000. After a whole career of rising income, they have basically zero financial independence to show for it. Now look at scenario B. By consciously minding that gap and letting their investments compound, their potential net worth is over 1.2 times $1 million. Same job, same income, totally different choices, and an exponentially different outcome. That gap between the lines, that, my friends, is freedom. And the consequences go way beyond just the final number on a spreadsheet. Lifestyle creep builds a prison around you, and you don't even realize it's happening. You get trapped by golden handcuffs in a job you can't stand because you need that high income to pay for your high-cost life. You become incredibly financially fragile, one bad month or one layoff away from a total disaster. And you lose your autonomy. You lose the power to say no, to take a risk on a new venture, because you literally can't afford any dip in your paycheck. Okay, I know, that's the scary part, but it's not hopeless. In fact, it's very beatable. The secret isn't about living like a monk or just trying to have more willpower. The secret is to build a system. So let's talk about how to actually win this race. This is the key. This is the whole game right here. You have to build a system that makes the right choice for you automatically. A system that protects your future self from your impulsive present self. And probably the most powerful tool in this system is the 50% rule. It's incredibly simple. The next time you get a raise, a bonus, any kind of new income, you immediately split it in half. 50% automatically goes to future you, straight into your investments or savings. The other 50%? That's for present you. You can spend it totally guilt-free on whatever lifestyle upgrades you want. This is brilliant because you still get the immediate reward from your hard work, but you guarantee that the gap between your income and spending gets wider every single time. So here are a few more steps to lock in your system. First, define what enough actually looks like for you. Decide on the lifestyle you truly want and stop moving the goalposts. Second, automate that gap right at the source. Set up your direct deposit to split your paycheck, so the savings part goes to an account you never even touch. You can't spend what never hits your checking account. And finally, for fun, try reverse creep. Turn it into a game to see how you can lower your fixed costs over time. Every dollar you cut is a win that repeats every single month. And so, we come back to our chart one last time. This is the goal. This is what winning looks like. Your income, that top line, keeps going up. But you take control of the bottom line. You let it rise, sure, but slowly, deliberately. You actively pry those two lines apart. And that beautiful widening space between them, that's your peace of mind. That's your security. That's your freedom. In the end, the secret to building real wealth isn't just about earning more. It's about how much of your earnings you get to keep. The goal isn't just to make more money, it's to own more of what you make.
So the real question is, what's the first thing you're going to do to widen your gap?